Want to work less and sell more? Welcome to the Webinar Hustlers Entrepreneur Podcast, the podcast to help you scale up and take your business to the next level with webinars that sell for you. Each episode focuses on the money mindset, online marketing, and sales strategies to get you more leads and convert leads to sales, all with webinars. And now your host, business and webinar strategist, April Reed.
Okay. Hello, Shauntelle. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, April. I am with you.
Thank you so much for volunteering to do this. I wanted to share your story with anyone else who's thinking about doing webinars, and I thought you would be a wonderful fit. So I appreciate it. Thank you again so much. And let's just dive in. Now, let's just start off with you just giving us a little background about who you are, what you do, what industry you're in as far as your business goes, your background, and I'll hand you the mic.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to share. I am an educator. I've been in the education business for almost 20 years now. Classroom teacher. Now I do teach at the college level. So I am a professor, as well as I operate my own tutoring business. I left public school teaching to work in a private sector to provide a little bit more one-on-one help with my young students that I teach every day. So I'm just all things education. I have a master's in reading, completing my PhD in language and literacy studies, and just love the idea of learning new things, anything that will benefit others to become better people. That's pretty much who I am, just an educator at heart.
Nice. Impressive. Kudos to our educators. Great. So, okay. Now talk to me about your business, because you came to me because you wanted to implement webinars as your marketing strategy.
Yes. Like I mentioned, I operate a tutoring business, but I wanted to, as most business owners, wanted to go bigger, gain more clients, also wanting to not only just tutor, but extend my services to parents. I noticed a need and a void for parents to know a little bit more about their children's education. So I just needed a platform to kind of get my modified or new message out, new services that I do offer. So I thought about the webinars, as we'll kind of discuss later on why webinars, but I thought maybe this platform would build an audience for me, a larger audience for the services that I do offer presently.
Yeah, that's great. And so how would you describe yourself at the beginning of your journey with webinars?
Well, at the beginning, I didn't know a whole lot. Well, I guess I knew some. I think I shared with you before, I follow Amy Porterfield, so I knew about webinars from her, but her level of expertise was a little bit intimidating. So I wasn't so sure if little old me, could do webinars as well as she did them. So just unsure, the tech part of it. I know many people are always unsure and uncertain about the technology piece of anything. So that was my initial hesitation. I'm not sure if I could do the tech part of it. It's intimidating for me. So I knew of webinars, did not know how much they were used in many fields. And now, months later, I realized that webinars are the to-go. This was hot right now. So I'm glad that I've jumped on to this new bandwagon for my business.
Awesome. So you kind of touched on the tech piece. So would you say that was like an objection for you to dive in?
Not a huge objection wouldn't probably be the word for that. Just maybe a little hesitation, like, okay, can I do this? My initial objection, probably with anything, okay, is this investment worth it? Will I actually, benefit from this investment of learning webinars? Will it move my business forward like is promised? So probably that would be my main objection. I guess the tech piece of it was just a fear kind of lingering in the background.
Okay.
Like, if I don't do the tech part of it right, then I might not be able to reap the benefits of this investment.
Okay. All right. And so how would you describe your journey now? So back then you knew a little bit about webinars. You took a very popular course and maybe all the technology of it kind of had you stuck and fearful. But what really held you back is, when I do all this, will I get my investment back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so how would you describe your journey now, or where you are now?
Now I'm feeling, emboldened to keep moving. I took a risk and glad I did it. Had I not, I would be probably in the same point in my business, because learning the webinars opened up other pieces and avenues of digital marketing and online media and social media. So that one piece that I needed to learn, that one platform, opened up doors to other things that I did not know I needed to know to be successful in my new endeavors of gaining more clients in a larger audience.
Great, great. Okay. And then you mentioned this before. So the problem you were looking for webinars to solve was to bring you in more audience, bring you in more clients. Did I say that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. And is intimidated the right word? I mean, is that how you felt about them overall?
Not intimidated, just kind of the unknown, kind of the fear of the unknown. So I don't know, intimidated might be too strong of a word.
Okay.
Because from what I understood, it was real similar. Me having a background of teaching, I teach all the time using PowerPoint and presentations. So I think that helped, that background that I have, teaching background of standing in front of an audience, maybe a little bit less intimidating because I'm not visibly in front of audiences.
Yeah.
Just, voice, audio, of course. But I guess intimidate might be a strong word. Maybe
Okay.
it's the unknown. Like, okay, how does this really connect with what I do now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what main problem were you thinking webinars could solve for you?
Getting my name out there, just kind of jumping into the game of other entrepreneurs, just kind of being visible, a new person that's kind of on the scene in the field of education.
Yeah, great. And so you mentioned invisible. So how did you feel about that? Because this isn't something that's new to you, right? You were already doing this prior to you even thinking about webinars. Like, you already had clients.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so now you're trying to get your message out there, be seen, and you're feeling like you're invisible. I mean, how did that feel?
To feel invisible, how did that feel?
Yes.
Not so great, because I've seen others in this field doing the same thing. Of course, we kind of start following other people in our field, and I sometimes think, oh, I know that. I can share my knowledge. Well, less than other educators sharing their knowledge on their platform or through their, choice of medium, whether they're coaching or doing webinars or whatever. But I just thought, okay, hey, I can do the same thing. I know we have the same knowledge background, so I need to break through all the other barriers to get to that place where they were, the being visible and known in the field.
Great. Now, how did you come in contact with me and my program?
Facebook. I friended you on Facebook, or maybe saw your Facebook group somewhere along the line. I believe you're a mompreneur, and friended you and just start following and reading your posts and learning about you and learning some valuable knowledge via the Facebook groups. And so Facebook was my initial meet and starting point.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know you were on one of my webinars, but I didn't know that. Okay, awesome. Okay, and so we connected. I believe I reached out to you for a free call. You were on my webinar, and after the webinar, I reached out to you, and we spoke a couple of times, if my memory serves me right. And then I kind of told you about my program. Now, what kind of thoughts were running through your head then when you heard about my webinar success plan?
My thoughts were that I think I can do this. I believe, even though it was a lot involved that I didn't know, like I said, once again, the unknown, but it seemed doable. It seemed as if, okay, I can do this one step at a time, but this is doable. So I felt assured that I could achieve and accomplish this new and add this new piece to my business.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And so at what point did you feel like, okay, I'm going to commit to this strategy. I'm going to do it.
At what point? I'm trying to think time-wise, days. I think probably the point is when I started noticing the freebies you were sending out, and I just felt comfortable knowing if this is for free, if she knows all this knowledge and she's able to help me along my journey with all these things, not necessarily, well, I guess they were related to webinars and just everything that you shared, via your freebies and website and information. At that point, I felt comfortable enough to take the leap of faith.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah.
Thought, okay, I can do this. I can, with a little hand holding and just guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good. So I took that leap of faith.
Yeah. Talk about that leap of faith. Well, like what excited you about the whole taking the leap of faith? You're going to do this. You're going to implement webinars. Yeah. What excited you about that?
What excited me about that? I remember receiving, it might have been the webinar checklist. Was it that? I remember receiving one of your documents, and it might have been the webinar checklist. And just kind of looking at that and reading over it and kind of looking at where my business was and just knowing I needed to move ahead and not continue to be stagnant. So I guess I was at a place, mentally ready to go to a higher level. And so just kind of looking at the checklist, the information that you provided before we officially started working together, I just felt good about making that decision now at that point.
Good. Was there anything that kind of scared you about it at any point in the journey?
The only thing, probably like most people, just time. I just want to make sure that I wasn't committing to something that I could not put all of my energy into, because I knew had I not done that, it would have been a failure. So that's in the back of my mind. Okay, do I really have this time to commit? It's going to take a lot of commitment. This investment means something on my end that I have to do. And so I believe just time. I was just worried, can I really commit to that? Because I had my hands in other endeavors, working on school and all that, and family. So I think time was the main thing that worried me.
Okay. In hindsight, looking back, how do you feel about that time now? Do you think it was a ton of work, overwhelming, not as bad as you thought it would be?
No, it wasn't as bad. I wouldn't say overwhelming. No, it wasn't as bad. I appreciated the due dates throughout the whole journey. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was still able to stay focused on my other commitments while working toward the webinar learnings. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, there were days I thought, oh, darn it, I need to do this.
Yeah.
We're meeting at 9. So, kind of like a kid in college where you have this exam and I needed that,
Yes, totally. So okay.
There was those times like, okay, I was got to do it. And I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. Now we also, actually, before we even got into the webinar, we revamped your offer too. Because if anybody has never started the webinar, it starts at the offer and not actually putting the webinar together. So we started with looking at what you were offering, and we kind of revamped that quite a bit. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I guess that kind of spoke to the seriousness of what I was doing, because I was moving from being just a quote unquote tutor to offering more of me, which in my head, now thinking back on it, provided that confidence for me to ask for more by way of, financial compensation from parents. So revamping my services helped me with changing my whole mindset on how much am I really worth, my value.
Yes.
So that was good.
Yes.
At that point, I knew, okay, I'm worth a little bit more than what I say.
Are you comfortable saying where you were to where you went to while we were working together, or no?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about numerical, because before I was just basically doing just one-on-one. And the one-on-one services gets old. So at that point, I was just charging a little measly, $45, which was, was great, extra money. But now I'm moving toward, think along membership sites now, and I have a number in my head that's well higher than $45 per person client that I'm expecting and will receive from this new part of my business. I'm moving into that membership site business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking thousands versus a couple of hundreds a month.
Yeah, that's right. Because, yeah, you were at $45 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of made a package where, was it 3 months or is it 6 months?
6.
It was 6 months?
6.
Okay, yeah, it was 6 months and you were charging $3,000 for that package.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in that journey, you realize I kind of want to evolve from that. And so now you're looking at membership sites. So that's cool. Okay. So what do you think would have happened if you'd continue to experience those problems you spoke earlier? So basically not believing in me, thank you very much, believing in yourself and believing that you could do this. Like if you hadn't have made that decision, where do you think you would be now?
Probably still on that hamster wheel of one-on-one clients, even though I love working with children, that's where my heart is, but still on that hamster wheel of trying to figure it all out, wondering, okay, what next? How do I get beyond this one-on-one commitment that I'm doing? I will probably still be at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So, okay, fast forward right now. How do you feel now? Like, what are you thinking? Let's talk about this membership idea you have. And I know you want to use webinars to drive traffic to the membership site. So what's going on in your world now?
Well, now I am learning the membership site piece of all this online business. I feel comfortable with the webinars, feel pretty comfortable with the digital marketing, but I have a Facebook group now of parents. I think I have 55 members, now. Just did a live video post earlier for them.
Nice.
School started. So I was doing, and I guess I might still do, face-to-face meet groups locally. And from there, I've kind of expanded and wanted to reach a larger audience, which is why I did the Facebook group. But just kind of gaining that audience once again. And I think I've kind of warmed them up a little bit. My group has been in existence for maybe a month now. I started in July. So just trying to provide value to them right now. And my next move is to kind of start really, marketing or sharing with them my membership site launch, which I hope to do mid-September.
Fabulous.
So I kind of, move from one area to the next. And so I'm in the Facebook group world now, working on that. So I'm trying to grow. It's a work in progress, but I'm still moving ahead.
Awesome. Okay. So final 2 questions I have. What changes in your life do you feel webinars did for you? It doesn't matter how big, how small. Go.
I believe just the accomplishment that I did it, because there's kind of the fear of the unknown. So feeling good that I can tackle something new because it was totally out of my expertise. I mean, I say education and teaching little kids and teaching all ages, but webinars is something that I feel like was completely separate and divorced from what I do every day. So I feel accomplished. Okay, I'm more than just quote unquote a teacher or just an educator. I'm now an entrepreneur. So that kind of made me feel like I was an entrepreneur to say that I have webinars under my belt.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. So what advice, just wrapping this up, what advice would you have to somebody who's thinking about doing webinars? And you spoke about a couple of things like the tech piece, kind of the investment part of it. And then lastly, time. So do you want to speak on one of those, all of those? If somebody was thinking the same fears or objections, what advice would you have for them about webinars?
My advice would be to just do it, to not let any of those things, time and investments and any of those things that would prevent you from giving it a try, because they aren't as hard as you might think once you kind of get started and knowing how all the pieces work together to pull it off and to actually, have that live webinar going. just try it, to give it a try, because it's not as bad as you would think.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And you're going to do another one in September for your membership. Is that right?
Yes, that's the plan.
All right. Exciting. Well, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you long because I'm sure you're getting ready for the school session that starts next week for you and I. I know I am. Again, this was great. Thank you. I learned so much, a lot of information you shared I didn't know. So this was fabulous. Awesome.
Great. Glad to help.
Thank you so much. And you have a good day.
Okay. Thank you.
That was amazing. Okay, so after that recording, I was thinking about it because my ultimate webinar checklist is fairly new. So the download Shauntelle was talking about was the webinar topic, the hot webinar topic checklist. So if you hop over to the show notes, you can get your hands on that webinar topic checklist. You can also get my new freebie, the Ultimate Webinar Checklist. And if you want to be a part of the membership, you can hop on over to the show notes as well and click on that link to get on the wait list. So the hot topic checklist is www.aprilreed.com/hot topic. And the ultimate webinar checklist is www.aprilreed.com/webinar-checklist. And to get on the wait list when the membership site opens up to learn how to grow and leverage your business with webinars is www.aprilreed.com/waitlist. Now I realize I've given you a lot of links in this closing. So to keep it simple, just go to www.aprilreed.com/43 and it's all in there. All right, until next time, bye.
Thanks for listening to the Webinar Hustlers Entrepreneur Podcast at www.aprilreed.com.